Tonight I speak of a mystery. Few have apprehended it. Fewer still have dared to live by it. It is not written in the manuals of philosophy. It is not found in the libraries of men. It is not whispered in the temples of religion. The world, waiting always for evidence, cannot teach it. Yet this mystery holds the power to change the course of a life overnight. It is the hidden current beneath all creation, the unseen law that quickens the seed and hastens the harvest. Men search for it in labor. They exhaust themselves with rituals, multiply prayers, lengthen fasts, thinking that struggle must surely be the price of fulfillment. But struggle is not the key. Others pursue effort. They chase methods, formulas, endless steps. They say, do this, then that, and one day it will come. But effort is not the key. They stand at the threshold of promise, eyes fixed on appearances, saying, when the purse is heavy, I will rejoice. When the door swings open, I will believe. When the body is restored, I will sing. And in this waiting, they postpone the very power that would bring it forth. So they wander outside the state, hoping, doubting, begging for signs. They call it faith, but it is only delay. They call it patience, but it is only postponement. They call it humility, but it is fear in disguise. And all the while, the law is simple. The key is near. It is not far from you. It is not beyond the stars or buried in the earth. It is closer than breath, yet hidden from the eyes that demand proof before belief. I tell you tonight, the moment this key is understood, creation is no longer slow. It is quick. It is immediate. It is certain. This mystery has been overlooked because it appears too simple. Men despise simplicity. They crave the complicated. But truth is never found in the complex. Truth is always clothed in the simple, and the simple is always dismissed. So tonight I stand before you to declare it, not as theory, not as speculation, but as the living law by which all things are brought into being. There is a hidden key, and once it is grasped, it will hasten your desire into form. With a swiftness the world calls impossible. You do not wait for fruit on the branch to call a tree alive. The life was there in the seed. So too, you do not wait for the event in time before you acknowledge possession. What then is the proof? It is the rising of gratitude. The heart that thanks before the harvest has already entered into it. Gratitude is the recognition that the seed has already broken ground. Think of the man who says, one day I'll give thanks when I receive. And he waits and waits, like someone standing at the bus stop who refuses to board until the driver personally announces his name. He postpones the very force that would bring it to pass. But another man, with nothing visible, closes his eyes, beholds the scene fulfilled, and with joy bubbling like a child who has secretly peeked at his birthday gift before the candles are lit, he whispers, thank you. Who truly possesses? The one who dares to thank before the world confirms it. This is why I tell you, gratitude is not bound to circumstance. It is not chained to what the senses report. It belongs only to the state of fulfillment. And the one who thanks in advance has already crossed into that state. He waits, he worries, he counts his coins again and again, as if shaking an empty jar could suddenly beg bread inside it. He sighs, he frets, he tips the purse upside down, hoping a hidden coin might fall out at last. And in this comedy of doubt, he delays the very supply he longs for. But another imagines differently. He feels the weight of gold in his hand, hears a jingle as if a parade of coins were marching for him alone. And though his wallet still looks like a desert where even camels refuse to travel, he bows his head and says, thank you. That man will see results swiftly, for his gratitude has already fixed him in the end. Or think of the woman desiring health. She pleads. She flips through every medical almanac she can find, convinced each ache is some rare plague from the history books. She buys tonics by the bottle, swallows spoon after spoon as though drowning herself in syrup could restore her. and still she waits for the outer to prove her whole. But another chooses differently. She lifts her head, feels vigor already flowing, walks as though strength were already hers, and though the mirror still shows a weary face, she bows and says, "Thank you." Her thanksgiving declares, "I am strong," and life itself bends to that declaration. And what of the lonely soul praying for companionship? He waits by the window, watching every passerby, as if staring long enough at strangers could turn them into friends. He writes letters, seals them, never sends them, then checks the empty box, as though mail might appear by magic. And in this endless waiting, he postpones the very presence he seeks. But another thanks already. He sets an extra place at the table, hears laughter beside him, as though the chair were filled. And though the room appears empty to the senses, his heart declares, "Thank you." That thanksgiving is his proof, "I am loved." And life itself bends to that declaration. And let me add, a student begs for wisdom. He devours every book, hoards notes, stacks journals higher than his bed, yet complains, "When I understand, then I'll give thanks." But another, though confused and uncertain, says in faith, "I thank you, wisdom is mine now." And the doors of clarity swing open before him. Or a worker longs for opportunity. He sighs, "When I get the job, then I'll rejoice." And so he trudges through each day in delay. But another rises each morning, thanks as though already promoted, walks with the posture of one employed in his dream, and the world reshapes itself to match his thanksgiving. You see, gratitude is the proclamation of possession. It is the essence of fulfillment. It is the living sign that you have dared to assume the end as fact. The world waits for proof. The awakened thanks for what is unseen, and life hastens to make seen what was already accepted as true. So I tell you, gratitude rushes forward creation because it removes delay. It ends the restless search, the anxious waiting, the constant questioning. It roots you in the only place creation is real, the accomplished end. And from that position, the bridge of events must unfold, and what was unseen must take form. Do not wait until the purse overflows to whisper thanks. Thank now, and provision will flow with speed. Do not wait until affection holds you close to rejoice. Thank now, and love moves toward you. Do not wait until strength returns to the body. Thank now, and vitality answers. Gratitude is acceleration. Gratitude is union with the promise. Gratitude is the trumpet declaring, "It is finished." It is the unmistakable proof that you already stand in fulfillment. Tonight, let gratitude be your dwelling. Not because the outer has shifted. It will, it must, but because you know the law, and the law cannot fail. The world cries, "Show me first, then I will believe." But you say, "I believe, therefore I thank. I thank, therefore I see." Say to yourself until the words outweigh appearances. Thank you, it is mine. Thank you, it is done. Thank you, it is finished. Let these phrases sink deeper than doubt. Let them drown the voice of denial. Appearances change and change again, but the law stands unshaken, eternal, absolute. So thank before you see, and you will see because you thanked. Thank before the shadow moves, and the shadow must obey. Thank before the door opens, and the door cannot remain shut. Thank before the harvest ripens, and the field must bend, heavy with fruit. Sing now the anthem of completion. Sing though the world calls you foolish. Sing though the senses resist, for the song itself is proof, and proof itself is power. Gratitude is the crickling of the seed, the rushing of the harvest, the command that resounds until creation yields. Fix yourself in that sound. Stand in that state. Wrap yourself in thanksgiving as in royal garments. Walk as one who already reigns in the promise, for the end is secure, the work accomplished, the desire clothed, the harvest sure. It is done. It is yours. Thank you.